So my name's Ollie Jackson. I'm the executive head chef of Mount Somerset. So we have just in the process of refurbishing a 19-bedroom hotel. We ended up here by chance. I grew up in the Midlands in Northampton. I met my wife who's Cornish, so we ended up, we worked in Suffolk for a little while under Ruth Watson. For about 5 years, that's where we met. We moved down to Cornwall for a little while and we got a chance to come to Somerset by chance and ended up running a small manor house called Langford Fivehead, a stone's throw from here. During COVID, that ceased trading and we took on a pub for a little while. We were managing a pub for a couple of years and then we got the opportunity to run the Mount Somerset. One of the things that we like about the Mount Somerset is what it's got for the future. It's an eco project. They want to run off solar panels, so running off the grid, and that kind of ties us in with what we're trying to create. We've always been about a relaxed environment. It's a bit like home from home. You come in, you know us, you want to sit down, you just want to chill and have dinner, and you want a nice dinner. You want to go away full. Our whole ethos is that we use local suppliers. It's a little bit of a cliche. All the way from my career, I've been cooking for 25 years now, and I've always used local. We've always used seasonal, and I think it's the best thing for us. And that's what a lot of our guests enjoy. And I mean, it's harder in the winter months when you've only got root vegetables to use, but you have to become experimental with it. So at the moment we'll be running a lunch service, dinner service. Once we fully open the hotel, we will be doing breakfast, lunch, afternoon tea, dinner, 7 days a week. So, and potentially feeding up to the dining rooms will hold up to 100 people. When we turned up to this project, it was running on LPG, which we didn't find was the best fuel. So we decided that we'd go down the electric route. So on designing the route, we've worked with Steve. I've known Steve for the last 10 years and he's helped us with projects in the past, and he's always been there for me to give him a call anytime about new projects or just advice as well. So on designing the kitchen, we looked at a stove that was going to be powered by electric, which was going to keep the kitchen cool and also give us enough performance and give us what we needed to produce for 100 people. So we've the layout of the kitchen's kind of suited for us. We're only going to be working with a smallish team, but we all need to be able to be working around the stove. We're very excited here to have the first M series of the Murano stove. I just wanted to go through some of the things that we've got on our stove. So starting here, we've divided our stove up into sections, and this is the pastry section. So we've got a double radiant heat here. We've got a 15-litre fryer, and then moving on to our starter section, we've got another 15-litre fryer. We've got a plancher with 4 areas that we can cook on. And then we've got a double induction hob. And then moving in to the middle area, we've got a grill, so we can serve straight onto the hot plate. And then we've mirrored it. So we're moving on to our main course section now. So again, we've got a double induction hob for boiling pots, so we've got that intense heat. And we've got another 4-area plancher. They've also got a 15-litre fryer, and then we've split it again. We've got a small garnish section, which have got 2 radiant heats and another 15-litre fryer. Murano, Steve introduced us to Murano. I really like the design of it. I like that it's energy efficient, and us being an eco project is that we've got to look at energy efficient, and especially with things like cost of living crisis, fuel bills going up, we've got to be looking at what we're spending as well. When we were looking at a design for the stove, I wanted that everybody could work around the stove. So we've split the stove up into 4 sections. We've got pastry section, we've got a starter section on there, and those guys will be working next to each other. One of my thinking was that with Obviously at the moment in hospitality, getting hold of staff is not as easy. So one of the things I was thinking about when we were designing the stove is that the starter jet comes on, but starters and pastry can kind of work together, and then when the starters are finished, the pastry can come on and help, so that vice versa, that they're working together. So starters got their own section, so they're not kind of bumping into each other. They've got their own space, they've got their own set of cooking tools. But then on the other side of the stove, we've got the sauce and the garnish section working together as well, and they've got their own spaces to work around that stove. Kind of over the years working on pastry don't need a full-on stove in my view, so they've got their own fryer. So if they wanted to do donuts, I mean, one of the things I've worked in when I've worked in smaller kitchens, when you've only got one fryer, is that you want to do donuts and then someone's frying fish or someone's frying some meat in it. You don't want to be mixing them up. So they've got their own radiant heats on there. So I felt that was better than induction for them, because then they can control the heat. Sometimes with working with caramel and things like that, they need to slow up the heat, speed up the heat. Kind of felt it worked better than having an induction hob that end. Moving on to the starter section, again, they've got their own fryer. Again, you're not swapping over, putting chips in, putting this in, putting that in, and then kind of clogging up the fryers. But they've got their own plancher, because, you know, when you're looking at menus and things you've done in the past, you know, you want to do scallops, maybe we want to do some pigeon, you want to fry this, you want to fry that, and you need, using the plancher is, you've got 4 different areas that you can set it to different temperatures. Sometimes you need to keep things warm, sometimes you need to speed things up. But also, we've got the induction 2 hobs for them on there as well, and they are for having a boiling pot on, so that if they're cooking pasta, you know, we're looking at multi-use here. We're looking at menus changing quite regularly. One day you might have pasta on, next day I say you might be doing scallops, you need the plancher for. So it's about having the equipment there to be doing different dishes. And again, so the sauce mirrors the starter section. They've got a plancher if they need to seal meat. They've got the induction hob there as a boiling pot, but also when they're prepping, they've got things that are quick, fast. If they're reducing sauces, they need that speed to produce the sauce. Again, it's energy efficient. It boils down the stocks really fast when you're reducing a sauce, so you're not waiting around like you are with a normal gas hob. And then we've got a small garnish section which mirrors the pastry section. Again, it's got a couple of radiant heats, a little fryer, just to kind of keep things warm, have a boiling pot on there if they need to. But again, it's about being multi-use. It's been an amazing experience. I say, I've worked with Steve over 10 years now, and he's always on the end of the phone. He's always offering advice. Even if it's not his equipment, he can kind of guide you to somewhere that it's not there. He's just a wealth of knowledge for me, and he's always there, and he's a friend as well. So it's kind of, you know, he's there at the end of the phone. If you've got a problem, if you've got a question, he can answer it. My hopes and aspirations for this, it's about being full. One of my feelings is, you know, we want customers to come back. We want people to be happy. Our thing is about people being happy, being relaxed, being smiley when they come and eat dinner, and being content and full. And that's the aspiration, is that we want a busy restaurant moving forward. With our positioning here, I think we're ideal for anyone going down to Cornwall, vice versa, going up to London. We're just on the M5 here, so, you know, people can pop in, have lunch. We want the local market. We want people want to come away for the weekend. We want people stopping overnight. We want people to come away relaxed. We've got beautiful views, you know, beautiful countryside. And it's kind of come away, relax, have dinner and sleep well and drink well.